Hello everybody, welcome to MJ Yaks Movies. Today I'll be yakking the film The Social Network, directed by David Fincher. In this movie, we see a young boy, a college student, he gets broken up with, he's heartbroken, and the way he deals with that pain is by making a website which goes on to make a lot of money, but in the end, that's not enough for him, he's still heartbroken. So, this movie, for those that don't know, is a somewhat real, somewhat fictionalized retelling of the founding of Facebook. It stars a bunch of people, many cameos in this. But the main actors are Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg, Justin Timberlake as Sean Parker, and Andrew Garfield as Eduardo Severin. I will say that my favorite of the cameos in this is probably Dakota Johnson, who's in one scene, but she really steals the show for that scene she's in. This film is also scored by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross and sounds amazing. It also looks amazing, but that's par for the course for David Fincher. So, let's break this movie down into two sort of halves. The first half is a story of alienation, of dissent, and of becoming that which you despise or that which you dislike. So at the beginning of this movie, the Mark Zuckerberg character, he's concerned about his status, that he's not enough for his girlfriend. And when he gets broken up with, that leads him to create a website which allows him to hack the system, if you will, to regain that status, to become high status. And by the end of the movie, he is the high status individual. He is the upper crust. He is the head of Harvard, not literal head of Harvard, but I mean, like, the person that people at Harvard would look up to, let's say. And so in that sense, this is a very standard, if one can say that, a Fincher film, insofar as its horror aspects, its alienation aspects. Secondarily, this is also a film, or primarily, depending on how you want to think of it, a film about the law of unintended consequences. So many times in this movie, we see small things go on to become much bigger things that they weren't intended to be. The face smash thing at the beginning, the chicken thing, so on and so on. And with this, I'm going to tell a little story, a little anecdote, which is at the local movie chain that I frequent to see my movies. They had a David Fincher series, and this is one of the movies that I went to go see in theaters, which, by the way, it looks great, it still does. In the pre-roll, movies have a pre-roll often, which is a bunch of advertisements, if you will, interviews, sometimes trailers, so on and so on, for upcoming stuff, to keep you entertained. One of the title cards that I saw ahead of this movie was "Follow us on social." It didn't explain what that meant. It didn't explain how to do that, and it didn't explain why that was important or why that might be important. And that to me is what this movie encapsulates really well. Sometimes when you create a website that's just for one thing, it goes on to be something much more different. Over the years, I think Aaron Sorkin has been proven right or lucked into being right about the nefarious aspects of social media. I don't think he knew at the time that things would go on to be what they were, but he made the correct bet. So, for me, I'm going to say that this is a movie that overall, between yay, nay, and in between, is a very strong yay. One drawback in this, I will mention briefly, is that as per many an Aaron Sorkin script, there's no real female characters in this movie, and the ones that are paper thin. So yeah, between yay, nay, and in between, for me, this is one of the biggest yays I could give, unless you detest social media, in which case, yeah, you might want to stay away from this one, although I think this one you might appreciate nevertheless. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe. Cheers.